Hello and welcome back to Haven and Hearth. I have been a busy little beaver in the interim here, basically just while waiting for ye old barley to mature. One of the things is I found a bunch of crabs, and I have made a new hat. Obviously, I don't have anything really for it to do yet, so I'm just going to put it in the box. I will update that later and get some gilding on it and make it useful. I've also done some work on the walls, just kind of got to do that. And of course, our barley is now ready to harvest. Since we built our oven last time, which by the by turned out to be quality 28, so not quite as good as I had hoped, but could have been a lot worse considering we used quality 10 stone in it. We are pretty much ready to harvest the barley, and that will allow us, hopefully, to start making use of our brand new oven. Let's get that done. All right, let's very quickly here come inside. We are going to grab the little 20 stack of the sprouted barley, because that'll be enough to replant. It is the same quality, so no reason not to use the sprouted barley, since it uses one less each, and leaves our regular barley free to become stuff. So, we want to come over to our little quern here. Craft, materials, food, cooking ingredients, grind flour. Now the question becomes, do I just do this immediately, or what? You know what? I think I want to do one thing real quick here, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, I don't necessarily need this to be high quality, but I'm going to do it anyway, just because these are already ready. Let's make a couple of boards, just 2 boards, which are actually lower quality since the saw is not great. We will need to update the saw at some point. Hopefully soon. Let us very quickly go over to craft, clothing and equipment, tools, bucket. I can has bucket. And here we go. We'll do that. Put the saw away. I now have a bucket in my hand. Now we'll go to the quern. Oh. Apparently... Oh, I can make a sap tap now because I have made my first bucket. Alright, we have a bucket in our hand because we are going to process the flour, and it should go straight into the bucket. I'm just going to hit Craftall. There we go. Bucket of barley flour. Now, I would really like to get my hands on some... Oh, looks like we got ourselves an uncrushed husk. Cool, that's a little curiosity we can study. I would like to get my hands on some wheat so that I can, have wheat flour, because there are actually some things that require wheat flour rather than, any flour. I would like to also get access to millet as well, but that's slightly lower priority. Looks like we've actually got a fairly good amount. We got 7 kilograms out of the 10 that the bucket can hold. So that's not too bad. I can just put you straight into study. Excellent. All right, so we have a flour, which means, hey, look, foods are available. Oh, look, baked goods are available. Oh, look at all of these things right here. There are some pies available. There's breads available. In fact, the very first thing I'm going to do, there is bread that is just normal, everyday bread. So I think I'm going to come over here to this bucket, or the what's it called? Barrel, not bucket. And I'm going to make some bread dough. I'm going to specifically make 8 bread dough. As you recall, the oven holds 8 items. Alright, our quality on our barley flour is 24. We're getting 22 out of the bread dough. which does mean that our oven will still drag it up a little bit, theoretically. That's 5, 6, 7, and this will be... Oh. Okay, I guess I got 7. I got 7 bread out of that, which is 1 less than I wanted. But that's okay. We're not actually making bread. If you noticed, when I got the first one, this mushroom and onion pierogi became available. Well, I need 7 mushrooms. Oh, look, I've been gathering mushrooms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to just grab the chanterelles because they are a lot more common. And then I'm going to come over to our stack of onions, just click on that and say craft all. Please make all of these, because if you look, this gives constitution and dexterity. And if we take a look at our stats here, our dexterity is lagging way behind. Of course, the agility is too. I'm less concerned about that. But dexterity affects so many of our crafts that I really want to get it up. And of course, the constitution going up is what's going to help our health in the interim while we're working on other things. So both of those are going to be good stats to get up. So let's go ahead. Let's take our quality 21. I'm fairly certain. Oh, and the 18 there. Yeah. So I'm fairly certain that we're having some issues with that. Actually, let's see. It was perception. Oh, I guess 20. Yeah, 21. So the majority of those were getting dragged down by our stats, and this is why we need to get our stats up. We don't actually need the bucket in our hand. I can take that out. We'll find some place to put that at some point. For now, we are going to need... There we go. We are going to need some sticks. And unfortunately... Oh, yeah, actually, we can do this. So let's chop into block. Oop, give me 1. I should be able to split that. We're up to 25. Excellent. It's not as good as our oven, but it is better than the things we are cooking. We should be able to drop... Come on. Get... You know what, let me... Oh, you know, I'll grab that after. Let me get 4 of these, because it just so happens that 4 is the correct number for this item. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've got 1 little extra sitting around. I'm gonna just kind of... Oh, you know what? Is this stockpiled for that? This might be stockpiled for that. Oh, no, this is 20. I don't know about that. Let's put it next to it. There we go. Let's go ahead and just grab a couple of low-quality branches, because no point in getting the higher quality stuff burned up for no good reason. Come on. Fire. Light fire. And we will get the oven baking our first batch of baked goods. And then we'll look at some of the other ones here. Try to determine where we want to put some of our future flour. Fortunately, we have enough sprouted barley to help us get our flour going for a little bit. But we are going to need... I'm too tired to drill. Really? I was so close to done. Oh, as you can see, I've got some quality 23 water here, because I have brought my survival up a little bit, and our water is still good there, so that is good. We might actually want to consider something on that. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's try and light this again. As you can see, my energy is getting really low, because I've been putting in a bunch of work and not eating anything, mainly because I wanted to get this done. So that's why we are at this point we are currently at. Alright. So we'll get this going. This is only going to take like 8-10 minutes. I'm probably not going to record the entire time. However, like that. Alright. So, that is going. And the main thing about the oven is that if I had put too much fuel in, it will burn things into ash. So that's why it's important to get the right amount of fuel in. All right, let's take a look at some of these things. So let's start with the other breads here. Bark bread, con and will. Even split, pretty good. So as we start getting, I believe that is actually does use bark. So as we get some higher quality trees, that'd be a good source of will. Here we go, Lingden Loaf. That's for those little berries, the little red berries that we find. Charisma, a +1 and a +2, and possibly Constitution. As you can see, Constitution's on pretty much everything. That's why I said it's just gonna kind of happen as we're trying to level other things. Of course, there is our mushroom and onion pierogies, which are the Dex and Con. We have onion bread, which is basically just, the onion flour and water. So basically this, but minus the mushrooms. That is agility, int, and con. All right, so when we want to get our agility up, that might be a good option. Seed crisp flatbread, will, strength, and con. Which I believe, despite, yeah, because this is a will +2, not a will +1, and because seeds are easy enough to get in high quality, I believe this is considered one of the best will foods in the game. So that's something we will definitely want to be looking at. Let's take a look at our pies. We have blueberry pie, which of course uses the blueberries, water and flour, int and perception. All right, that's good. More int than perception, so no worrying about con there. However, the type of flour you use also affects additional stats, as well as other things that might go into it. So like this one, which are green leaf pie, will, int, and con. There's salad greens. There's a wide variety of them. I would probably end up using the lettuce leaves because we're farming lettuce. That'll affect what stats are on this as well. All right, and then we got grub pie, which uses grubs, strength +2, perception +2, will +2. That's not bad. If I need any of those three stats, that's pretty darn good. I mean, strength is the lowest on them, but still, that's pretty darn good. If I might want to start collecting grubs when it rains. Of course, I can collect them anytime, but they are one of the things that show up more when it rains. None of the rest of this. I'm not harvesting my poppies yet. I'm letting them go to see if I can get the seed pods. Alright, so that's the baking. There are meat pies and stuff, theoretically. I think we need wheat specifically to unlock some more of those things. Of course, we have some other stuff here, and there is in Wild Grub these pit-baked goods. These can be done in the oven, but they could also be done in a fire pit or something along those lines. There's the fruit roast, there is the mushroom burst glutton, there is the nut jerky. These are not all that great. If I needed, one of these stats, or if I'm just hard up for food, can always do that. All of those will get affected by the quality of the oven, things of that nature. Of course, we have some other stuff. There are flat-out meat dishes. Signature meat. I could theoretically make a molehill. If I have some mole meat, some onions, and some salad greens, all of which are things I have. Let's see. It is charisma +2 and perception +1. So if I need charisma, then that would be a good one to do. I guess it's something to do with the mole meat. I really need to start catching more moles, too, because those mole paws, those paw bones that you get like a quarter of the time, are some of the better masonry gildings. So those are kind of important to do. All right. Oh, and I'm walking in place. A little bit of lag. All right. I am going to come back once we have ourselves some food to eat, and then we will move forward with the rest of the stuff we need to do. I will see you in a few moments. Alright, we're back. They're not quite ready yet. They've got maybe another minute or two. But I realized there was something I sort of glossed over. And that is the whole thing of the crabs I found. If you recall, our mysterious benefactor requested crab meat. So, I took all the crab meat from the crabs I found, put it in this box, which is currently sitting outside our borders. And they are free to come pick it up. I do not know if they see the videos or not. Hopefully they will check by and notice, oh hey, there's a bunch of crab meat sitting obviously outside the claim. That must be for me. You know, that's just kind of the thing. And while we're all waiting, I figure I might as well go into some other things. I went ahead and bought winemaking in the interim here. Oh, this is actually... I don't know why it is suddenly showing me this. Oh, because I made a bucket. Okay. This is one of the things I wanted to talk about. Not the thing I want to talk about just yet. We'll come back to the well. For the moment, I wanted to talk about the extraction press. I bought winemaking. We need 6 boards, 12 blocks. I am not terribly concerned with quality on this, since for the moment, the linseed oil we want is for medicine. It's not super quality dependent. We need how many blocks? 12 blocks. Let's start with the blocks, because I think I can get 11 in my inventory. Yeah, I can get 11 in my inventory. So that'll be all but 1. Then we'll just need to worry about the boards. Oops. Here we go. Alright. Now, obviously, I have used the 16 because, again, it is what's immediately available. And I think my tree's just about done, too. Oh, where do I want to put this? I should have thought of that first. Where do I want to put the extraction press? I kind of want to put it over here. I don't know if I'm required to put it on a better surface or not. Let's see. It'll let me put it straight on the ground. That is fine by me. At some point, this thing will be replaced and we can make it nicer. At that point, I am not terribly concerned with this one, other than, you know, having it so that what we want to have, we will be able to have. Alright, so we need 1 more block. And how many boards? 6. I don't have enough room for 6. I can get 4 immediately. Let's make some boards. Which, again, my saw is going to bring the quality down on. So we will need to replace that sooner rather than later. But for this exact purpose, I don't care. So that's 4. We're going to come over here. We're going to get that going. Yeah, there we go. We can see the sign that way. Bam, just like that. And we need 2 more boards. And we will get the extraction press up and running. Because that was the other thing we wanted to do. Because I think the linseed oil is the last thing I need in order to be able to unlock the medicine I need to not completely cure my illness, or my injuries, but do downgrade it. Downgrade it so that it is something that is easier to fix. Oh, looks like our food is done just in time, too. Alright, let's take a quick look at this. Now, as you can see, there's the tiniest little sliver of a progress bar, because it finished cooking shortly before the fuel itself actually ran out, but it was not enough to actually cause any sort of real harm. So instead, it just had that little tiny progress. We've pulled it out. It no longer has that. I don't even think I can put it back in. I might be able to put it back in the oven. Doesn't matter. I wouldn't want to. All right, so I'm going to sit down, and we're going to eat real quick. And we're going to keep an eye on our stats. So, as you know, this has dexterity and agility on it, and it looks like strength got added by the barley flour and or the chanterelles or the yellow onion. I'm not sure. I know that the yellow onion improves the dexterity, because I looked that up. Now, it looks like Constitution is the highest one, but Dex is second. And now I have these lettuce leaves, which also are Dex and Con. Much lower, obviously. But, as you recall, the total we need goes down based on the number of different foods we eat. So if I eat one of these, it was enough to make a stat go up. Let's try again. Alright, let's try a third time. We got Dex that time. This might actually just end up being all this. But let's look at it this way. Alright, so it's 22 at the moment. I eat this. It goes down to 16.95. So if I were to then eat one of these, yeah, it would be enough. Unfortunately, it doesn't show because it goes immediately. But that was basically the idea, is if it ends up not being enough, I could then eat a lettuce leaf. It applies the same stats and helps me get whatever it is I need. So let's try one more time. Gave us our Dex. All right, that's all of them eaten. I'm not even all the way up to what I need yet, but as you can see, my health score has gone up because I gained a few points in Constitution. I gained Strength 2, which actually made our total go up from 20 to 22. That'll help in future fights, but not so much for what we were currently doing. Let me see if I can squeeze another point of Dex. Not bad, we're up to 14. Now our lowest stat is agility, so we might want to pay attention to that in the future. We're still low on energy. Let's see if I can get one more out of what's left. That was a con. That's fine. It's still lower than our strength. We're still hungry. I've been burning through tons of the energy. Unfortunately, all of these are strength food. The meats that we have are all strength. But that's the basic idea. So now I can do that sort of stuff without too big of an issue. I do want to find a little bit of, here we go, flax. I'm going to grab those flax seeds. Do I have any others that are remotely near the same range? Yes, I have another stack of 45, which is not a full stack. I don't know exactly what's going on there. All right, we're going to take these flax seeds over to the extraction press. I'm going to put them in, press the press button. There we go. I believe I have just discovered the linseed oil. Linseed oil. There we go. I don't quite have a kilogram or a liter or whatever it's called. L liters? Yeah, L. Okay. I don't have a liter. I really wish this game would use, U.S. customary. But whatever. That means, let's see, craft. Medicine and first aid still isn't showing up for us. I might need to look up some other things. But what do we got here? Oh, look. Fine bone trinkets. We've got bear fur trimmings that take that. What else do we got? We got some. What else? Oh, the chef's pin. Okay. Food. Right. We have another baking thing. We have linseed loaf, which is perception, con, and int. Num num num. Might be some good things to have there if I need the perception. Let me go ahead and click that so that the flashing goes away. What else do we got here? The wall shelf. That requires a whole lot of that oil and some bone glue, and I don't really know exactly what it does because I don't think I've ever built it. But there we go. All right, so we have a bunch of stuff we have unlocked. Let me take a quick look and come back and try and figure out if we can manage to unlock this treatment. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I've looked it up. The thing I am most likely missing is actually the yarrow, which I think I'm going to need more exploration stat in order to actually get. So we might want to focus on that a little bit. Let's see. That is actually, I could just raise perception, although I am very close to that in strength. I will be raising my stats off camera. Bam, there we go. We're actually up to effectively 25 now on exploration. So we might find some of that. I'll be looking around. I will be eating more food because obviously I'm not even healing yet, which is a bit of a problem since I raised my con and it can't heal me up to my new full, or even my new full minus the wounds. So we'll need to be doing that. I might need to wait for another batch of barley, so yeah, that might be a few days. 96% grown on our new tree, which is a quality 21. That's pretty good. As soon as that's done, I'll be able to cut this guy down. We are going to need to expand our farming. Like I had said, this little patch here is mostly just a little starter patch, and it's going to be useful for bringing quality up. But we have a bunch of space we'll be able to extend into. So I think somewhere over here, I will put a proper field. And we will also be able to do some stuff with bees coming up relatively soon. So I will work on this stuff some more. I will figure out some additional food to eat, even if it is just temporary and or gives me stats I don't particularly want at the moment, like strength. Obviously, my baking is good enough that I'm not having to worry about that too much. Um, and we will come back next episode ready to do a little bit more. Not quite sure what yet, but we'll figure it out. Hopefully, I'll be able to find some yarrow. I might do a little bit of poking around, see if I can't find it and unlock it. Because that's the kind of thing I don't want to spend an entire episode just kind of walking around looking. That would bore you guys. But that is going to do it for this episode. So, until next time, have a good one.